Yeah, 9 Alpha Uniform 791 Southern Gulf Islands, QSX. 9 Alpha Uniform 791 Southern Gulf Islands, QSX. QSK. Nine Alpha Uniform 791 QSX. Southern Gulf Islands. Southern Gulf Islands off the southwest coast of British Columbia. That's a Roger. Yep, off the extreme southwest coast of British Columbia, Canada. Copy?
Yeah, Roger. I was trying to think of, you're out there on the west side there. Yeah, we're down here in Nashville, Tennessee there, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, there, Nashville. Yep, you're sounding Q5 here. Nice signal here. Got you up into the red.
Roger on that. Well, good evening to you out that way. Yeah, excuse me. I had to try to get the beams around there and get a few things turned around your way there. But, okay there. Good evening to you. You got the 6-7 back to you.
Yeah, okay, there, 6-7. Nashville. Doing a really good trip there. Yeah, you swing your beams up around Seattle. Our island isn't that far north of Seattle there. 100 miles or so as the crow flies north there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger on that. So you're out on an island up that way?
You betcha. Yep, we're in the Southern Gulf Island chain. So same archipelago as Washington State, San Juan Islands, except we're off the extreme southwest coast of British Columbia.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds nice there. Sure does there. What are you running right there?
I'm talking to you on a RCI 2980 WX base station. D104 Lollipop, which I have turned down, and I'm just using the mic gain on the radio, and right now running about 80 to 100 whiskeys through an Antron 99.
Oh, Roger on that, yeah. I'm talking back to you on a Yazoo 450 with a D104 mic and a set of Moonraker 4s there, Roger.
Oh, you got stacked Moonrakers. Beautiful, sounds awesome.
Hey, Roger on that. I'm just curious, do you ever hear Japan or anywhere over that way up in your area?
I talk to South Pacific all the time and Central Pacific, Christmas Island, New Caledonia, Indonesia. But you know what? I haven't talked to Japan for a long time. I've talked there a few times over the years, but come to think of it, I haven't heard them in there for a while.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, that's nice. Some of the places you mentioned, yeah, it sure would be nice if we could get to talk to them, from where I live out there. Yeah, I did talk to one guy in Japan a long time ago, and of course we talked to, New Zealand, Australia, and down in South America and around there, but I talked to Hawaii today. I talked to a mobile in Hawaii, but, another place that I very rarely talk to is Alaska. I hardly ever talk up that way. Back to you.
Oh, God, Alaska comes in here every day. Matter of fact, I think on 435 or 425, Richard up in Glen Allen, Alaska, is chewing the rag with somebody in there. I talk to him all the time. It comes booming in. Alaska, the panhandle of Alaska comes right down the British Columbia coast, I think maybe halfway, if I'm correct. So Alaska is probably around 700 or 800 miles north of here, the most southern part.
Roger on that. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the way it is there, I guess. But yeah, we rarely talk over that way. Do you get to talk over to the UK and Germany and around over there very often?
Not often, but it's funny. It was when I was on my Christmas break there. It would have been late December. It was booming in here. It was it was round around noon to maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was all the Scandinavia was coming out. I talked to Denmark, Norway, Sweden. I think Germany was in there too. I talked to a lady in Scotland. It it was just rolling and really good signals too, but haven't heard it since.
Yeah, Roger on that. Roger on that. Yeah. I was just curious there, since you're out there, way out there in the northwest area like that. I was just, I was just curious where you might talk, out that way. And I talked to Austria yesterday, and I haven't talked to Austria. I might have talked to Austria one or two other times there, kind of like Alaska. I mean, I very rarely talk to Alaska there, but we get to talk over to the UK and Germany, Scotland, Ireland, pretty often there, Roger.
Yeah, not here. It used to come in years ago, 30 odd years ago. I used to talk to Europe a lot. Come in early in the morning before I'd go to work. I'd be talking to Europe up on the upper frequencies here. But it's places like the east coast of Canada I don't talk to too much, like Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Don't hear them in here much. States like Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Maine, I've talked to more than any of the other New England states, but still not that often. It's mostly the Midwest comes in here, upper Midwest, and of course Florida. Hawaii comes in here every single day, and Australia, usually later in the afternoon. Not often we get to talk to our prairie provinces. Pretty rare that we can talk to Yukon or the Northwest Territories, but yet we can talk to Alaska pretty much every day. It's strange. States like Idaho and Oregon, which seem almost too close for DX, it's pretty rare to talk to them.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, earlier this afternoon there, I was here in the west coast of Canada, up there in your area, British Columbia, and Alberta, and around, and I sometimes get mixed up on the provinces of Canada, so you'll have to excuse me there, but I was here in the northwest, kind of up there in your area, earlier in Washington State and around, and I was also here in Nova Scotia and around up in there at the same time. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting earlier that I was hearing that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm right above Washington State. You know where Washington is, where Seattle is? Well, I'm right beside Washington State. Matter of fact, if we took a boat from our island and went straight across the water, we would be in Washington State there, Roger.
Oh, Roger on that, yeah. Well, I know about where you're at then. Yeah, you mentioned Yukon there earlier. I've never talked to Yukon either, I don't think. But I just talked to a guy up in Yellowknife. I talked up there, 2 or 3 times there, but that was a long time ago.
That's same with me. I've talked to every state in the U.S. more than once, and I've talked to every province and territories too, and I've QSL'd with every state and every province. And the only place I don't have a QSL card from in North America is Northwest Territories. I have talked there, but I didn't QSL with them. That's the only place. And when when QSLing was really big back in the day, we were always sending each other cards, right? But that's the only place I haven't got a QSL card from is Northwest Territories.
Oh, Roger on that. Yeah, that's great there. Yeah. Back in the 70s there, we used to have those. You remember those wall hangers that you put on the wall that would hold the QSL cards? I think they'd hold 20 cards there, I believe, and I used to have over 1,000 QSL cards back then. I can remember coming home from high school and having over 40 QSL cards in the mailbox there, in one day there. So yeah, those were the days back then,
I remember it, man. I remember I go out to my mailbox. I lived out in the country, out on the mainland, about 30 miles south of Vancouver then, and slightly southeast of Vancouver, and that was in the 70s. And we used to QSL all the time, and I had a P.O. box, and then I also had my home address, which was a bad thing to give out on the radio sometimes. But anyway, we used to go out to the mailbox, come home, get the bus home from school, go to the mailbox and get the QSL cards. And I saved them all. I still have them in the original envelopes. I just used the letter opener to open them up. And I have them in a big box down in the basement there.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, that sounds a lot like me then. That's what I did. But yeah, I didn't even have a P.O. box for a long time. I don't know what kept me from getting my parents busted there, because I was still living at home with them, and I was talking on the radio, and man, I was talking all over the place there, and having a big time there. We used to talk down to down around the West Indies and all kinds of currency from down there around in the Caribbean. But yeah, that's another place, that we don't hardly ever hear lately. There is down in the Caribbean. You hear some parts of it, but just not like you used to.
It changes, yeah. I guess it works on the sunspots. Yeah, I've talked to the Caribbean a lot, Jamaica, and some of the other places down there as well. And actually, I still hear Jamaican once in a while, but not as what it used to be back in the 70s there. So I guess you and I are probably about the same age. I'm 50 here.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, I graduated from high school in '79. I'm a little bit over 50 there for sure. But yeah, I was reading that the cycle's supposed to change this summer, and Mexico has just been wearing us out, every day, and it's supposed to taper off there, around June and July, and we're supposed to start getting it from down in South America and around, and I'll be glad of that because, man, we get a heavy dose of Mexico every day.
Hey, man, likewise, it's never ever left us. Mexico has been on here since day one, since I got my first radio in 1977, and it's still with us. It's 27695. They really slam in there. Must be their call channel or something. But yep, they've always come in strong here, Mexico, and some of the other places in Central America, but mostly Mexico.
Yeah, Roger on that. Okay. Well, the conditions are kind of changing a little bit there. I'm swapping back and forth from vertical to horizontal, and I'm keeping you in there pretty good there. You got a good sounding station there, so hey, I'll get on out of here and say good evening to you there. And 73, Steve, it's always good talking to a good radio operator out there. It sure is. So, hey, I hope to talk to you again real soon there. We're going to start hanging out up there around 470 and 475 there. And so, maybe we can catch you again up there sometime. So, hey, we appreciate the QSO there. Hey, you got 6-7 Pat down here, Papa Alpha Tango, down here in Tennessee. We're going to say good evening to you then.
All right, cheers to you, Pat 6-7. Appreciate the QSO there and the comeback. And personal on this side's Joe, Juliet, Oscar Echo. And like I said, I'm located in the Southern Gulf Islands. Your stacked moonrakers are definitely doing a job for you there, Pat. Take care, and we'll make contact with you again. I'll put you in my logbook here, Pat. Have a good night. This is 9 Alpha Uniform 791 out here in the Southern Gulf Islands. We'll be QSX and actually QRT. We're going to crank her off. See you later.